Howdy, folks. So, I was reminded again today, coming back from lunch, why young Earth creationists, or that position, is, in my opinion, worse and far more dangerous than the belief that the Earth is flat. Because street preachers are to college campuses like cancer is to a prostate. You're going to find it pretty much everywhere you look. And so as I was going to lunch, I saw some street preachers out there with signs that say, repent or turn to their way of thinking. I can't remember the word he used, but I do remember or burn was the or else part of it. And so I went up to him, and initially I just want to ask him a few simple questions, like, for example, what do you believe the age of the universe was or is? He didn't seem to think it was relevant, but he did give me an answer. He did say that the universe was around 6,000 years old, which to him, he claims, is actually fairly old. Which I reminded him that not really, since the accepted age is around 13.7 billion years old. And then, I don't know if I asked him directly, but effectively, he admitted that the Genesis is literal, that God created the earth and the heavens in 6 days and rested on the seventh. So, which is perfectly in line with young Earth creationists. And then the conversation continued into whether or not the Bible should be taken literally. And of course, he was of the position that yes, that if you do not take the Bible literally, then you are in fact going to burn in hell. And I pointed out that the Bible has certain just irreconcilable contradictions, such as the number of angels at the tomb. He did a little bit of mental gymnastics, talked over me a lot, and basically dismissed that as, oh, it's just two different points in time. Apparently, two different groups of people went to the tomb and encountered or in one group, they encountered two angels. In the other, the next group, apparently one of the angels decided to take a coffee break and, peaced out. It's that sort of reasoning that you deal with when you try to take the Bible literally. I ended the conversation as soon as he said, "You're not a Christian." I told him that I was a Christian, that I was an astronomer, and when he told me that I was not a Christian, then that was where the conversation ended. He then followed that up when I told him, you don't have the right to tell me that. He followed that up by saying that the Bible tells us to judge others, which I reminded him, or I asked him, is that a wood beam in your eye? And he said, oh, I've taken that wood beam out of my eye, because apparently he is saved. So when I say that young Earth creationist viewpoints is a dangerous one, when I say that it is worse than flat Earth, is because you can't take young Earth creationists in a vacuum. If someone believes the literal word that the universe is 6,000 years old, that Genesis, or that the earth was created in 6 days, I have yet to find an example of those same people not having those same views of judgment, of hate, of control. Now, I will say that I have not polled every young Earth creationist I've encountered on these particular topics. So there are young Earth creationists where that correlation or that connection is unknown to me, but I have yet to find a young Earth creationist that explicitly did not hold those viewpoints. So either they are explicit in holding the viewpoints that they are without sin, and if you do not conform to their viewpoints, you are going to roast in hell, or I don't know. So again, this is why it's dangerous. And this is why I think that people who espouse the young Earth creationism should not be held up as truth seekers or people who are against pseudoscience. Quite the opposite.